The snake in the Garden of Eden is a really interesting character. Human beings and their closest biological relative, chimpanzees, are innately afraid of and attracted to reptiles. They automatically trigger off responses in a part of the brain called the amygdala that's associated with anxiety. And I think the evolutionary reason for this is that mammals and reptiles have been at war, in a sense, over ecological turf for something between 60 million and 200 million years. Reptilian features, which are cold-blooded, piercing-eyed, toothed, lurking, nocturnal, out there, out in the unknown, out where chaos is. The snake is representative of the unknown, in a sense, and it's an ambivalent feature, and you see that even in its use in mythology, because, for example, the dragon in Western culture is a negative feature, but in Chinese culture it's a positive feature. And so the unknown is like that. It's positive and negative. The snake in the Garden of Eden is representative of all those things that lurk when you think you know what you're doing. And when you think you know what you're doing, you've carved out this little Eden, this little paradise in which you're operating. But there's always something that's lurking, and that's all the things you're not paying attention to. Well, that's the snake. And when that snake pops up, we're wired. If a little snake pops out, we might want to run away from it. But like, we're curious about that. We're going to go over there and investigate it right away. Now, when chimps come across a python in the forest, they have a specific cry. It's called a snake rah. And the chimps who don't like snakes, they don't run from it. They back off, and then they watch the thing. They cannot tear their eyes away from it. And some of them will stand there and look at it for 10 minutes. Other individuals will stand there for hours watching the snake. The unknown is fascinating. We can't look away from it. We have to encounter it, even if it's terrifying. It's partly why, teenagers like horror movies. They're driven to look at the snake. They're driven to interact with the snake. In Genesis, of course, interacting with the snake means the end of paradise, just like it does in life. There are ideas that the serpent in the Garden of Eden was Satan and trying to destroy God's handiwork. People often look back in their lives and they say, well, I got knocked out of my little paradise by, this particular event. But looking back on it really made me grow up. It really made me mature. Whatever it is that's the serpent in the Garden of Eden certainly plays that role. It's a catalyst. Much of what's unknown is redemptive. Much of what's unknown gives life savor. It provides the kind of excitement that justifies suffering. The injunction behind religious thought, fundamentally, is that you should live your life in such a way that the suffering it has to contain, because you're confined and vulnerable, is justified.